THA to reinstate Visitor Relations Unit as security heads meet. Study Park quarries growth stymied by legal challenges. Recycling initiatives in Tobago lack funding. And the PNM stalwart says party constitution being manipulated. Good evening, I am Bianna Brebner. Welcome to the Tobago Updates Television News for Thursday, 9th January 2025. To our top story this evening. Tobago's economy heavily relies on its tourism sector. However, according to Chief Secretary Fali Augustine, following the declaration of the state of emergency on December 30th, 2024, many visitors who had planned to travel to the island have cancelled their reservations. Despite this, Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation Councillor Tasia Boris reassured the public that Tobago remains a safe destination for tourists. She gave this assurance at a Tobago Security Council stakeholder meeting held at the office of the Chief Secretary, where various stakeholders gathered to discuss their concerns about the impact of the SOE on tourism industry. Reporter Joe Sheldon has this story.
During the stakeholder meeting today, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine reassured all Tobagonians that the plans being developed by the THA are not exclusively for tourists and visitors to the island, but also for the benefit of the general public.
This is about making all of us safe, because when we are safe, you, the visitor, is safe. So in other words, when we are safe, you are safe.
Secretary of the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Tasia Boris, has announced plans to reinstate the Visitor Relations Unit as mandated by the Chief Secretary. This unit aims to bring together key stakeholders, including tourism translators, social services, and the tourism police, to collaboratively address any concerns or challenges tourists may encounter during their stay on the island.
That's a mandate that has been given by the Chief Secretary for us to reinstitute this unit under the Division of Tourism, where we are going to pull all of our partners together, not just Division of Tourism personnel, but
this unit will comprise various stakeholders, including tourism translators, social services, and the tourism police, all working together to address any concerns tourists may have during their stay on the island.
We have a unit called the Tourism Oriented Policing Unit, captioned as TOP. There's a unit that is specifically assigned to deal with issues dealing with tourists. Whenever we have large amounts of tourists on the island, that unit is augmented by the regular police officers.
Joshua Dan, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Even while there's no curfew under the current state of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago, the country has recorded 5 murders for the year thus far, and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service remains confident in its ongoing operations. During a media briefing yesterday, the TTPS shared key statistics showcasing the successes achieved so far under the SOE. Reporter Joe Sheldon has this report.
It has now been 10 days since Trinidad and Tobago was placed under a state of emergency. For most citizens, the increased police presence is noticeable as law enforcement conducts numerous operations aimed at suppressing criminal activity across the country. According to Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Junior Benjamin, a total of 473 operations have been carried out under the SOE thus far.
To date, we have accomplished at least 473 operations. We have also had, in terms of our priority offenders, we have targeted 503 priority offenders. We have conducted at least 2,495 searches. We have done thus far at least 321 traffic operations.
He stated that so far, 360 people have been arrested, 951 traffic offences detected, and 22 firearms recovered. Additionally, 818 rounds of ammunition were seized, along with 84 kilograms of marijuana and 592 grams of cocaine. Benjamin commended the efforts of the officers and acknowledged the invaluable support of the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force in helping to ensure the safety and the security of citizens.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me say, in terms of the DCP operations, from the information that I've just read, we recognize that our officers are outside there and our divisional commanders, they are at work ensuring that we continue to have that level of law and order, that level of safety in our nation.
Assistant Commissioner of Police for Administration and Operational Support, Richard Smith, expressed his heartfelt gratitude to the officers who were called out to duty during the state of emergency.
You know, we have sent out a call as well to our officers who are currently on vacation leave, and they have been coming out since Monday. We have seen officers coming out to do their civic duty with us as we fight against this scourge of criminality that is taking place in our country.
Joshua Dan, Tobago Updates, Television News.
According to party stalwart and former Labour Minister Jennifer Baptiste-Primus, one man is manipulating the constitution of the People's National Movement. She made the statement in response to Monday's announcement that MP Stuart Young will succeed Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, who is preparing to resign in the coming months. Baptiste-Primus argued that the move goes against the party's constitution and deprives the membership of their right to have a say in the matter. More from Candice Jackson.
The selection of Stuart Young to succeed Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley by a PNM parliamentary caucus is being viewed as a backward approach by PNM stalwart Jennifer Baptiste-Primus. She explained that in the PNM, the political leader leads the government.
How could you indicate that you want to leave the politics because you want to spend time with your family and your grandchildren, and all that is fine, but those reasons only apply to the prime ministership?
Baptiste-Primus explained that Dr. Rowley should have prepared for his exit from public office before a general election year.
Who is going to take us into the 2025 elections? The party must have a political leader, and the political leader is that person who takes the party into general elections.
The PNM was expected to hold a special convention in 2024 to elect a new political leader, but the event was cancelled. Baptiste-Primus stated that instead of following through with the party's established process, Dr. Rowley chose to take matters into his own hands. He preferred to announce his resignation and have a caucus decide the next prime minister.
Everyone must know that that must trigger the process for the election of a new political leader. It cannot be an appointment. It cannot be, because you see, this party is now under the umbrella of the one-man, one-vote system.
She condemned Dr. Rowley's actions, describing them as a manipulation of the process and a slap in the face to the membership, who had always shown him full support.
So that any attempts to bypass or step aside that process, it is really an attempt to deny the members the right to select their own political leader, and that is wrong.
Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
We'll take a short break and come back with more. Stay with us.
Attention, members of TWCU Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Are you ready to take the next step and help shape your credit union's future? This is your chance to get involved. We're now accepting nominations for elections at our 75th Annual General Meeting 2025. Open positions include spots on the Supervisory Committee, the Board of Directors, and the Credit Committee. Nomination packages are available on our website www.twcu.co.tt, or you can pick one up at our Port of Spain or Tobago offices. The completed forms can be dropped off at the said offices or emailed to nominations@twcu.co.tt no later than January 17th, 2025 at 3 p.m. For more information, visit our website at www.twcu.co.tt. Don't miss this opportunity to make a difference. Apply today and guide the future of your credit union. TWCU Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Our credit union, one family.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With Amplia TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with Amplia's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 GB fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With Amplia, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. Amplia. Do more, live more.
Welcome back. Secretary of the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development, Trevor James, during his year-in-review interview, said the Study Park Quarry was not operating at its full potential when he assumed the role as secretary. He noted that one of the primary objectives for the enterprise was to maximize profits while minimizing operational costs. He also pointed out that the quarry produces some of the highest quality construction materials in the region. Notably, countries like Guyana have already reached out requesting supplies. According to Secretary, the quarry has been instrumental in the success of major road infrastructure projects on the island, driving up the demand for materials and significantly boosting profits.
And so Spell benefited from that, and that was one of the major goals that I'm happy about, that Spell had the opportunity to demonstrate to the people of Tobago that they could supply multiple projects simultaneously.
He said one of the major problems encountered at Spell was the non-issuance of a license usually granted by the central government, and he prepares to take them to court to resolve the matter.
The biggest challenge at Spell is the non-issuance of the license from the Ministry of Energy.
Right.
And I have been instructed by the Executive Council that if nothing moves, we will go to court.
Okay.
And maybe that is what we will do.
Okay.
The Tobago House of Assembly has denied reports that oil spill waste stored at the Study Park dump is leaking into waterways and the nearby shoreline. The waste collected from the Gulf Stream oil spill is being temporarily stored at the site. The issue was raised during an inquiry by Parliament's Public Accounts and Appropriations Committee. Senior Director of Environment, Climate Change and Energy, Linford Beckles, explained that the high cost of disposal has delayed the process. However, he noted that the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries has committed to managing the disposal of the waste.
To the best of my knowledge, the Ministry of Energy went ahead and they appointed the National Gas Company as their agent to deal with that situation. Bids were invited, and to the best of my knowledge, those bids are being evaluated by the National Gas Company.
In the meantime, Beckles assured that the site is under constant monitoring with daily water testing conducted around the area to detect any potential leakage.
We do regular water quality testing there. And the testing that we have done to date, there is nothing to suggest right? That there has been any leakage and so on from the cells that are up there, and so on, to compromise the water quality in the stream at Studley Park or in the nearshore coastal area at Barbados Bay.
On February 7, 2024, the Gulfstream barge was shipwrecked and capsized on a reef near Cove, leaking bunker fuel along up to 15 kilometers of coastline between Scarborough and Cano Bay. The majority of the oil waste has since been removed from the shoreline. Tobago's efforts to foster a culture of recycling have been hindered by a lack of funding. The Public Accounts and Appropriations Committee of Parliament highlighted a slowdown in the progress of the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative during an inquiry into the country's alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, specifically Goals 11, 12, and 14. The Environmental Management Agency reported that its recycling efforts were impacted by a decline in the Green Fund during COVID-19 pandemic. This shortfall has also affected Tobago, as recycling initiatives were jointly funded by the EMA and the Tobago House of Assembly, according to Linford Beckles, Senior Director of the Environment, Climate Change and Energy Unit.
The EMA in December of 2022 would have alerted us to the fact that they were a bit out of pocket, I suspect as a result of monies not, forthcoming from the Green Fund to support the recycling activities, and that as of April of 2023, they will no longer be in a position to support us in the way that they had been supporting us.
The Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative faced a shortfall of approximately $3 million, limiting its ability to collect and process recyclables. As a result, the initiative has had to scale back its operations. However, Linford Beckles noted that the Tobago House of Assembly is making efforts to support the recycling initiative as much as possible.
The financial situation in the country at large and in the Tobago House of Assembly in particular is quite challenging. But certainly we retain our steadfast commitment to addressing the situation with respect to recyclables on the island, and we are going to certainly continue in that vein.
This issue has also been a point of concern for Sean Roberts, Managing Director of the TRRI, who has been vocal about it for over a year. You are watching the Tobago Updates Television News. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. More news after this.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Thanks for staying with us. As a signatory to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, Trinidad and Tobago is expected to make it easier for citizens to adopt environmentally sensitive practices. However, this is not happening because certain policies and legislations are not yet in place. This issue was highlighted during a recent inquiry by the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee of Parliament into the nation's compliance with Sustainable Development Goals, specifically Goals 11, 12, and 14. Reporter Candice Jackson has the details.
Trinidad and Tobago's landfills and roadside trash sites highlight the potential for developing a beverage container waste recycling industry. While there are some efforts at recycling, they fall short of addressing the rapid growth of garbage. According to Sean De Souza, CEO of Swimcall, there is an interest in advancing recycling initiatives, but progress is hindered by the absence of supporting government policies and legislation.
Unfortunately, we need to have policy that gives confidence in private and the public sector. And without policy, investments will be made because now we know it's formalized. Right now it's informal. And every industry, when it comes to waste management, or in this case, beverage containers, that does not have a policy has proven to fail.
This indicates that Trinidad and Tobago is failing to comply with SDG Goal 11, which aims to create an enabling environment for initiatives like recycling to be implemented effectively and efficiently.
We spoke about sustainable goals earlier, and we also believe very strongly in Sustainable Development Goal number 11, which speaks to facilitating. This is not what we do at this point in time. There are opportunities, but we need to have both private sector involved and state.
3 policies are currently under consideration in Parliament that could move Trinidad and Tobago closer to compliance with SDG Goal 11. One will address the recycling industry for beverage containers with mechanisms for oversight and accountability. Meanwhile, Hayden Romano, Managing Director of Environmental Management Agency, EMA, noted progress among government agencies in adhering to the National Environmental Policy. However, Romano pointed out that the National Environmental Policy falls short because it is over 30 years old and it lacks effective enforcement.
And they expected people to do the right thing. That has failed. And therefore we need to relook the enforcement part of the EM Act, and we are doing that at present.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Public Utilities, Nicolette Duke, acknowledged this concern and assured that the government is re-evaluating the National Environmental Policy with a particular focus on strengthening enforcement measures. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
On Wednesday, January 8, 2025, the Gender and Child Affairs Division officially launched the Central Registry on Gender-Based Violence known as the Umbuno System. This innovative website platform was developed in-house by the Information, Communications and Technology Department within the Office of the Prime Minister with support from the United Nations Population Fund. The Umbuno system is designed to capture real-time data on incidents and activities related to gender-based violence in Trinidad and Tobago. It aims to analyze trends and determine the frequency and incidence of domestic violence, identify at-risk groups, and work towards reducing the prevalence of domestic violence. develop targeted intervention programs, monitor the effectiveness of violence prevention and intervention efforts. The initiative represents a significant step forward in addressing gender-based violence in the country by providing data-driven insights to guide policies and programs aimed at reducing domestic violence and supporting victims. The weather report is next. Stay with us.
Tonight I am here with the Giant African Snail Eradication Team, a small but dedicated team of men who work tirelessly every night to help suppress and eventually eradicate the giant African snail in the infested areas of Tobago. The giant African snail, as you know, is a pest of several species of plants and is also the vector of the rat lungworm that can cause meningitis in humans. Tonight we want to emphasize the need for public participation. We have our dedicated staff here who work tirelessly on a regular basis to eradicate new spaces. However, the exercise will only be effective if we have cooperation and coordination with members of the public. How can you help to help us eradicate the giant African snail, you may ask? You can do that by checking the division's Facebook page every Monday and you will see the eradication schedule. If you have the time, you can avail yourself by calling or WhatsApping 482-7528, which is the Plant Protection Hotline, and volunteer to work alongside the eradication team. Why is that important to come out and work with the eradication team? We have 5 men here working, but if we have an additional 5 pair of eyes, more snails can be intercepted. So we are calling on everyone who has the time and is able to come out with your closed-toe footwear, preferably boots, but anything that covers your toes, and of course a torch, and come prepared to help us collect and destroy these dangerous and destructive pests.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on.
Now for the weather update from the TNT Met office. Tonight, a generally fair and cool night with a light breeze is expected. There's a low chance of odd brief shower. Tonight's temperatures are expected to be 24 degrees Celsius. For tomorrow, you can expect generally hot and sunny conditions despite the low chance of an odd shower. Nighttime will be mostly fair and cool. Daytime temperatures will rise to 31 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 34 degrees Celsius. Seas are slight to moderate with waves near 1.5 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise is at 6:25 and sunset at 5:56. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Here's a recap of the headlines before we go. THA to reinstate Visitor Relations Unit as security heads meet. Stanley Park's quarries growth stymied by legal challenges. Recycling initiatives in Tobago lack funding. And the PNM stalwart says party constitution being manipulated. I am Bianna Brebner. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.